Hey everyone. Tonight with the Open Hearth, we are playing Apocalypse World Burned Over. This is our final session, inspired by Snowpiercer, the movie, the series, the graphic novel, all of the above. Um, my name is Donna. My pronouns are he, him. I'm MCing. So let's get a quick intro and a kind of a brief last time on Snowpiercer from all of our players. So let's go in character keeper order, left to right. As usual, Mark is in the hot seat.
All right. Hi, folks. I am Mark. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Lemma, the gear cutter. Lemma wears a weird black cowboy hat and aviator glasses and has been trying to catch up, spent the last session trying to catch up, I guess, with Scrape, who had been moving in the undercarriage tunnel toward the front of the train, and I am trying to assist them in getting their hands on a Geiger counter. And along the way, we encountered Dusk, who was having, I don't want to say, I guess, what everyone else is doing. But anyway, he gave away his trademark aviators to Dusk to hide Dusk's strange eyes. And I think we're just continuing to try to move forward on the train.
Thanks, Mark. So on to Dusk, I guess.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm playing Dusk, she, who's a beautiful and very strange young woman, who is a brain picker, a psychic, affected by the catastrophe of the world. She has been on a slow quest up train to try and find the person who owns this pin that she catched in the marketplace. And in the process, she's made a promise to Flake to try and find out what has happened to Flake's friend Fry. Flake says that Mr. Burroughs is the one whose pin it is, and that Mr. Burroughs also knows what has happened to Fry. And then recently, as she met Ruth, who is the doctor who claims to have put in her ocular implants when she was young. And as Mark says, Lemma has loaned her a pair of sunglasses to cover these up so that they're not as apparent. But Dusk is very she doesn't know what to do with this information. She's very anxious about being reminded of the past, about which she remembers only in vague dreamlike ways. That's all.
Thanks, Brandon. On to Sabine.
Hi, my name's Lee. I'm playing. I use any pronouns, and I'm playing Scrape. We use he pronouns. Last time, Scrape was going through the under tunnels beneath the train wagons, and that was not very pleasant, to say the least. And not just because of the insects, but then he lost his companion Silence, and they didn't and had weird visions, and is a little overwrought right now because of all that stuff. But yeah, I think we met up with the doctor, and he wanted to talk to the doctor, but the doctor was talking to everybody else, I guess. No, wait, Lemma was talking to Dusk, and Scrape was trying to to have a conversation with a doctor. Might have been a little too frazzled to actually be a very good conversation partner. Also, he was covered in insect goo, and yeah, that was not helping either. But you know, maybe we'll find out what happens with the radiation poisoning. If there is radiation poisoning on the train, how we treat it. We might need to find some iodine or stuff like that. That's written down in his medical book that he has.
Okay, thanks, Sabine. And lastly, let's hear from Pavel.
Hey, I'm playing Blizzard. Blizzard is a monarch of two groups of people. One of them is a snow cult, and the other are laborers that work in the gardens. And Blizzard last time went to Drex to force his will upon people living there to take their cloaks, paying them very little in food, because we needed more cloaks for people to visit the newly constructed Snow Temple. Because that's what else we did. We constructed a Snow Temple around the airlock in the cloakroom. So we are now a proper snow cult with a proper Snow Temple, not just next to the airlock.
Okay, awesome. So we should probably do some start of session moves, just to see exactly what kind of trouble or otherwise people are in. If that sounds okay. Lena, are you're bone feeling your way around the place?
So yeah, I was rolling for bone feel, and unfortunately I scored a 4.
4.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that means that's on a miss, the MC holds 1 and can spend it to have you be there already, but somehow pinned, caught, or trapped. That's convenient.
That is convenient. Remind us where you were. You were talking to Dusk, handing over your prized aviator glasses.
That's right.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see what comes of that. Do you have a very bad feeling about this?
I do, actually.
What? How do you feel when the bone field is going? Oh shit, we're about to get boned.
I think that I think he has this sense that he really feels like he was doing something good in handing over these glasses to Dusk, but now immediately, superstitiously, he regrets it. But
because these glasses protect you from the world, right?
yeah, and now, fuck. So
okay, we'll see. We'll see about that. Okay, Scrape. Your sixth sense must be
Yeah,
jingling.
must it though? It's with sharp. Sharp. I'm fairly sharp, right?
Pretty
I
sharp.
mean, my character's fairly sharp. I wouldn't. I'm not, at least not today. See how that goes. Yep, goes pretty well. Being among the roaches helped out. So I'm holding 3.
Okay. So you have it's almost like you're now wearing Lemma's glasses. You've purloined all of the luck.
Yeah, kind of the roach sense kind of scraped off on me with all this stuff that was crawling through, I guess.
Yuck. Okay, so spend those whenever you want, or if you do you want to ask any questions I guess if you want to just see if it might be useful, you can check in first. I'm sure it'll be useful in a finale. Okay. Thank you. And Blizzard, your devoted followers.
Yes, I rolled for both groups because both had some running into troubles after last time, and I scored on both a 9.
Okay, so some of their devotion, but some of their demands. I mean, I think it makes sense if the temple is, ready to go, right, and that this is attracting a lot of attention.
Perfect.
From the cult in terms of teaching, like what exactly do we do with this now? And maybe from the laborers in terms of or, they have been working hard to get this up and running, and they just want to kick back for a while. Does that sound
perfect?
Okay. So maybe you probably already thought about exactly what the grand opening ritual for this snow temple looks like, but I'll come back to you shortly for that. Let's cut to the.
To be honest about the snow cult, I thought that maybe we can like phrase it that they're demand teaching about respecting them, and they want me to teach people that they should be respected. And what I envision is that after my last visit to the dregs, one of my priests who went there to preach was probably like stabbed and maybe like robbed, and they demand teaching of that they want to be respected, and we'll see what will happen out of that.
Okay, so they want to join in on this tug life aspect that they saw last time from Blizzard.
Yes.
Okay.
They got some fallout from my success.
Okay. Who got stabbed?
I think it was Snowflake. Snowflake is a guy. He's quite young, but he's really, I think it's like soft spoken. He like speaks really softly and like gets into people and can like, he's really non-violent. He just wants to speak to people, and he's quite attractive, I would say.
Okay. Okay, cool. So let's go to the front of the train for a moment. So I think so the way I have it, Scrape had been talking to Ruth, who had been taking this the black snow, we can call it, quite seriously, and running through some means for how they could combat the radiation and the radiation poisoning. So she has some supplies, like a bunch of iodine tablets and maybe some other tools for fighting this. Scrape, how does it make you feel like to see the wealth of equipment and medicine that Ruth has available here?
I think it kind of feeds into a sort of slow burning resentment, right? Because I mean, he always knew that this was here. Seeing it is it's not surprising, and it won't cause a flare up. But yeah, he does not. He feels like, why do they have so much? Why do we have so little? So he's not. He realizes that he has to be polite to get a sense on some of that stuff, but kind of it kind of with yeah, okay, yes, thank you very much.
So do you think you're just letting her like do whatever she wants, or are you like trying to like charm her into giving you more resources or helping you directly, or what's your approach here?
Yeah, I think I need to kind of get her to give me more resources. Charm is probably the wrong word for what I'm trying to guilt trip her into this, because I mean she's a medical person, and I've read about the Hippocratic Oath, right?
Yeah.
Which is okay, do no harm, but if keeping this stuff for herself is kind of causing harm to the people who don't get it. And also, I think the radiation plating that this train has is worse in the sections, tailwise, in the tailwise sections, than it is up train.
So maybe, I mean, you're like trying to manipulate her by like bringing up these pesky little Hippocratic issues, right? Okay.
Yeah. So can I confront that? Can I use confront with that?
Yeah, you could. I think.
Okay.
I think you could do it either way. Confront, like, intimidate, threaten, bluff. Like, who do you think you are? Or maybe.
Yeah, more like you're a doctor. You should keep to your oath. Or how can you call yourself a doctor if you are letting people die? That's not how this works, lady.
Okay, so roll plus aggro.
Yeah, I actually am not that bad at aggro. Yep.
There you go.
Ooh.
So yeah, I think they Ruth kind of stops and looks over at you and says, I spent so much time up here that I'd kind of forgotten.
Yeah, that's a lot of people forget about us. Better their lives get, the easier it is. But we're still there.
Well, Mr. Burroughs likes to keep the resources of the of uptrain for uptrain people, and he's a hard man to avoid. But let's go back down. Here, grab that bag over there. There's some emergency supplies in there, and we'll bring as much anti-rad stuff as we can.
Okay.
Okay.
If this Mr. Burroughs gives you a hard time, he can come tailwise, and we'll have a talk with him. Or we could go up and have a talk with him up train, but I don't think he would like that.
Certainly not. So, Lemma and Dusk, you're getting cleaned up, or Lemma is getting cleaned up, rather.
I'm helping.
Yeah.
I think if we see Scrape's gonna head back down train, so Ruth has provided some emergency medical supplies, which include some anti-radiation stuff, but
yeah,
we still don't have the Geiger counter, right? To our knowledge.
No, that is still not in your possession.
Okay.
Which would be looking around for Peregrine.
Yeah, so I think that I'm sorry, we're in the
You're
kingdom,
in
The
the
baffles.
battles.
the baffles. Oh, okay. Well, so Peregrine's here somewhere.
You're looking for Peregrine?
Yeah, yeah. We need to see if we can get some. Need to see if we can get a Geiger counter from Peregrine, or if they can direct us where we need.
What's a Geiger counter?
Yeah, so it's a thing that lets us tell if there is some radiation back in down train. It's a device. Like a
So
little
you know if
machine.
you're going to die.
Well, it lets you know that you need to take like some precautions and have Scrape and Ruth help you out.
Oh.
And it lets us know where maybe it's coming from, so we can try to seal up what the problem is.
Okay. Okay. Will you come with me to see Mr. Burroughs afterwards?
To see Mr. Burroughs.
Please.
Yeah, I will. I will. You bet.
Cool. Let's go see Peregrine.
So
Let's do
you ask around, or are you seeking him out some other way?
Just ask random people. Hey, do you know where Peregrine is?
So one of them, one of these people that you stop, picks up I'll call it a phone. This like device that's stuck to the wall, which you've seen around, but they usually don't work. And calls up someone, tells them.
I mean,
You
he
better-
talks into this box.
Talks into this box. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You better come down here.
I'm enjoying my glasses and just kind of looking at everything through them, like, because everything looks different.
All right.
If you
And
look
a few
at the
moments
lights through
later,
them, you get colors.
A few moments later, some people arrive who look like they're in the toll gang, although they look a little bit shinier than
Cool.
usual toll gang.
I grab hold of Lemma and just like, as my fingers dig into your harness a little bit.
It's okay. I whisper.
These are mean people.
Yeah, probably. Let's see what they want.
So they look at you, and
I look back at them.
You're not quite sure. Like, you think you have looked at cockroaches in a more fond fashion than these guys are looking at you. What are you doing here?
Looking for Peregrine.
How about this guy?
Me too.
Huh. Well, he's not available, but Mr. Burrs wants to see you.
Okay. That's okay, right? We can do the things in the other order.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
I gotta call a out of character timeout about this pin. So the pin that we're talking about, you picked it up, you cadged it.
Well, I badgered Finch into giving it to me.
Okay, so Finch had it.
Finch had it and was selling it in the market, but
okay,
I didn't have the barter for it, but Finch gave it to me to go away.
What does the pin look like?
It's it looks like a flag, although I don't know what it's a flag of.
Okay.
It's old.
And it's old. Okay. And we think that Burroughs is looking for it.
Well, Flake said that it belonged to Burroughs.
Okay. Thank you.
But Flake, I also promised Flake that I would find out what happened to her friend Fry. And she says Mr. Burroughs knows the answer to that question. Because evidently Fry has disappeared or something.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead, Donna.
So you're is that like that's an out of character exchange, right? That's like you would have known those details, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So, back in character, I think that Lemma looks at Dusk before we set off for Mr. Burroughs, and Lemma says, so I'm curious about the pin. Could I have a closer look at it?
Sure.
For just a moment? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to I'm going to try not to lose it in the 60 seconds that it's in my hand here. I'm going to make the move Things Speak. So I'm going to roll plus weird. If that's acceptable.
Sounds like it.
So cool. It's certainly interesting.
Okay, so there I got a 10.
Okay.
So on a 10,
ask 3 questions.
What strong emotions have been most recently nearby this?
I mean, most recently,
Yeah.
I guess.
That's the problem.
A lot of questions here on most recently, but do we feel like we can stretch it to be like before Dusk got our hands on it?
That's what I'd like to do, because all these questions are really
yeah
in that realm.
I mean, the strongest emotion coming through this pen is control and authority.
Mm.
I mean, this is not a decoration. This is like a badge.
Okay. What has been done most recently with this?
So it seems to you that there's some, and I guess some of this is like Things Speak, but also some of this is maybe you looking at it as a device. This is also kind of a key. You get a sense of someone terrified, but like losing consciousness, being locked somewhere, being locked in a coffin.
Cool. Let's see. Strong emotions. Would you say that there's any way in which what's wrong with this might apply to something like this? I can't think that it would.
And how might you fix it? I mean, I don't think it's broken.
Yeah. Who handled this last before Dusk and Finch? Can we go farther back on that, or negative?
Yeah, I think you get a sense that Peregrine
Oh,
handled
okay.
that blast. Again, like that. This vision comes into your head of Peregrine, and like he's the person being locked in the coffin.
He's the person being locked in the coffin.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. Amazing. So
It's
I
cool, isn't it? Says Dusk.
yeah.
Because this barrage of information
So
hits you.
I'm
So-
going to make sure that Dusk is aware of the things that I've kind of
Yeah.
figured out here.
So what does it look like when Llama is like speaking to things or opening his brain to the maelstrom? Is it at all similar to Dusk's approach, or compare and
I think
contrast?
yeah. I think that I think he examines it very closely, and he has a like a jeweler's loop maybe that he uses to examine it really closely, and handles it delicately, turns it over, and it seems really more mechanical than anything else. But then these visions kind of overwhelm what he's seeing through the jeweler's loop, so that he's not seeing through that what he is actually seeing. He's seeing these visions.
Okay. Cool. So the toll gang are gonna like basically manhandle you and bring you up train. And I'm gonna cut to Blizzard, and we'll get back to you. So yeah. So Blizzard, you set up the temple. It's resplendent and kind of freshly covered in snow. The ice is strong here. And I think now is when some of Snowflake's people like drag him. They've dragged him all the way from the dregs up towards you, and they bring him to the temple. He is stabbed in the gut, bleeding everywhere. There's like his arterial blood over this kind of pristine white snow and ice in the temple. And they tell you that they were in the dregs, trying to bring your word to them, and January has led a revolt against the temple.
Yeah, I think Blizzard. Scrap, please remind me, where is your crew located? Sabine?
Sorry, what? Yeah, where's my
Please.
crew located in garden?
Yeah, so I guess I tell let's yeah, I think I like kneel down to Snowflake and I say, hold on, Snowflake, you're gonna be fine. And yes, and and Blizzard is leading his people as fast as possible toward the infirmary.
So you bring everyone with Snowflake to the gardens to.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean, this is like a procession of the snow cult going to the gardens, of course.
Okay. So as you do, I'm gonna get you to to roll. The move here is that against the threat of the black snow. With all the fresh snow in the temple, you've been exposed to it. So I want you to roll plus hard.
Plus hard, my best start. It's a literal 1.
Oh my god. Okay. I guess
Beautiful.
last week's luck has cut up. Okay. So
But just to like phrase it, because you said that we have fresh snow, do you think we already opened the airlock and it works? Or do you think we got like snow through some other means? Because because I was hoping that opening the airlock would be like the big deal, but if we are already opening and closing it left and right, then it isn't a big deal. I'm just like wondering, how do you envision it?
well, if we cast our mind back to the vision you had for how you were going to create the temple, part of that was to open it up or to bring in as much outside snow and ice as you could. Right?
Okay, so we opened the airlock. It seems to work. We closed it, and we have some fresh snow. Cool, perfect.
Is that all right, or is that too much of a?
No. I just wanted to have the same frame of mind as you, because I thought that this will be the big deal and that everyone else will rush in to stop me from opening the airlock. But since we already did it,
it's a big deal.
Maybe you just opened it for just a moment, and so snow came in, and you're building the temple, but you're hoping until the day where you can just open it and leave it open.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's add some intent. Yes, perfect.
Okay. So it's not evident right now because it's a little bit slower acting, but you're going to be marking 1 permanent harm. And at some stage, the vague feelings of unease are going to turn into nightmares. But you march at the head of this cult army, straight through the gardens and down to where Scrape has his infirmary.
Yes.
I think that's a good place for Scrape and Ruth to arrive more or less simultaneously, or maybe a little bit beforehand, right?
Perfect.
So yeah, Ruth is, again, a little bit aghast at how you're managing to run an infirmary with so little equipment or medicine.
Yeah, wow.
And she kind of dumps that kind of duffel bag of equipment that she brought down on a table and just opens it up. And I think your crew, I mean,
what happened to
scavenge like their life depends on us.
What about Silence? Is she back?
Yeah, Silence is back.
Good.
Looking a little bit off kilter. I mean,
yeah.
kind of in an unusual way, not in the usual sense that she
Wow.
she is off kilter.
I mean,
yeah, I think.
Yeah, I'll give her a quick checkup, just because A, she works with people and she has to be on top of her game, and B, I kind of sort of care about her and want to figure out what's wrong, if anything's wrong with her that I can sort of fix.
Yeah. Do you want to use a Sixth Sense?
Yeah, you know what? I've got 3 hold. Let's spend it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's spend it like a stolen car or something. Yeah.
So I guess you have 2 inclinations. One is she just needs some rest, maybe a quiet night's sleep away from it all. Maybe she doesn't need to think about what she saw in those undertunnels for a while. The other, probably more extreme thought is that maybe Uncle could help.
Oh,
If he did something to her, maybe he can undo it.
yeah, but he needs to be motivated to undo it.
Yeah.
Which I, right now, it's not a good time for that, I guess, because I've got Ruth here, I've got the stuff here, and I want to look at the stuff. So we'll tell her to maybe take it slow, get a bit of rest.
Maybe Ruth suggests some kind of not a Valium, maybe, but something like that. Some
that was my thinking. Yeah,
ordinary medicine that she might have access to that is like unknown in the tale. That might help her kind of get some peace of mind temporarily.
Yeah, Xanax.
Yeah,
or something like that. Yeah, yeah. I would have gone with alcohol actually, but
okay.
If she's got something better, then I will take that.
Yeah, and I guess the phrase "take two and call me in the morning" is still in use up train.
I mean, yeah, sure, and not before morning.
Yeah.
Just sleep and try to relax a little.
Okay.
It's gonna be fine.
So yeah, I guess you go from like general medical equipment to the specifics for the radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
And Ruth is kind of describing what all these are for. And then I think there's the hubbub of Blizzard's impending arrival.
No, that guy again. I told him to stay out of the garden.
20, I don't know, angry or demanding cultists hubbub into the space.
Yeah, I'll meet them at the front.
Yeah, I think they will get demanding soon, but for now, I think the mood is that whether Snowflake should like meet the snow or whether he's not yet ready. Is he like enlightened enough? And that's probably the discussion. And yes, and Blizzard is there standing. Oh, Scrape, perfect.
What's this all about?
Snowflake is wounded.
Oh.
And
okay.
We need your medical assistance, whether he is ready to meet the snow or whether he is not yet ready.
Blizzard, I'm not here for pretty words. You got the barter right. You understand that what I'm telling you? You're not a poor guy. You can pay me.
Of course. Cool. And yeah, I think Blizzard turns to his people and she says and he says yeah, I don't have idea what he says, but he just goes from people to people and just like takes some stuff from them to pay Scrape. So you probably get a random assortment of various things.
That is that value? If that has value, then I will take it. If this is just junk, I will tell you to. Probably I won't, because while you are doing this, I'm going to look at the injured guy and I'm like, oh god, okay, this does not look good. I will take him inside, Blizzard. You won't come inside. Your people won't come inside. This is my place. I understand that, but I'm taking him. I'll try to make him better.
Of course. I mean, I'd love to visit the temple of the Red Cross, but
this is not a temple. This is an infirmary. This has nothing to do with religion. Okay.
But you have this like big Red Cross. It looks like a temple of the Red Cross.
Yeah, I'm taking care of my patient now. I'm not discussing this with you. It's not a temple. It's just science.
Yes. Please do take Snowflake, and I think that people are like passing. because we didn't have any stretcher to like carry him, so he was like carried on the people's backs. So yeah,
Yeah.
we are
I'll
like
get my
fast
my
forward.
aide to help him to get a stretcher and help him and carry him inside.
Field medic, I guess.
Oh yay!
Yeah.
I get to roll my move here. Nice. Let's see if I can do this. Yep. It's again it's a 10.
I think on a hit they're stabilized. Their injuries won't get worse, and you can safely move them.
Mhm.
Who knows how being dragged through like however many carriages almost killed them. On a 10 plus, they recover 1 harm as well. So I guess patched up and will recover.
Yeah,
Although
he will stay here for the time being because the way these guys drag him around, he'll end up in the snow sooner rather than later. So I will, I will give him something that make him rest, and it's probably alcohol, and we'll just help him get better. And then I'll go outside and tell Blizzard the good news. Blizzard, your guy, he'll live. He needs rest. He'll stay here for a couple of days so I can watch him, see if he gets better, if anything gets worse, infection sets in or anything I can handle, but he will survive. But I'm feeling good about the prognosis that he will survive unless he not ate too much bad snow or something.
Thank you, thank you, Script. You are of great help to the snow. May your Temple of the Red Cross prosper.
It's not a fucking temple, Blizzard.
And I think Blizzard like turns to his people and he says, Snowflake was not yet enlightened to go meet the snow. Now let's take care of the perpetrators. And I think we are leaving, and the snow cult is shouting, "Snow justice! Snow justice! Snow justice!"
Blizzard, before you go and make more holes in people and have more people make holes in you, maybe you want to talk this out before hitting people, right? Because that will make more. I have only limited space here.
No worries. They will not be coming to your temple.
Okay, Blizzard, if you do this, if you attack people, then don't come back here with your people. Hear me?
Does that sound like Scrape is confronting
Yeah.
Blizzard?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And I think I'm going to be interrupting this.
Yeah. Okay.
So
need to roll plus HX.
How does it work?
You roll plus HX, which you got.
Yeah.
I think you got 2.
And then there are some weird options. We will see.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a 4.
Oh wow. It's not a lot.
So, yeah, I mean, I think
what does that interrupt look like? Maybe.
Yeah. So, Blizzard, when Blizzard was interrupting, like, what kind of interference was this? Was this just get out of there before you hear the ultimatum, or say your piece and talk over Scrape, or what kind of, or just like be ready with your counter arguments? What do you think it was?
Yeah, I think Blizzard looks at Scrape and he says, apparently not very convincing. You cannot command the snow. Snow commands you.
But you know what, Blizzard? You're just a guy. You're not the snow. You're just a guy. And if your people are hurt, the snow won't help them. And I won't help them either if you do this. Understand? You're not the snow. You're just a person. You're just a cult leader. Don't let the snow get into your head too much.
So, Sabine, I think you take +1 forward for your move.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think Blizzard is going to spill and says and say that. Oh, but now it's your role, yes?
Yeah, it's my role now.
Okay. Well, let's see what comes out of it.
See how that goes.
Wow, I rolled.
It's an 8. It's an 8.
I rolled Snake Eyes twice in a row. Interesting.
Yeah.
So on a 7 to 9, you've left them some wiggle room, and they can try to escape, bargain with you, pass off responsibility, or divert you instead.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Blizzard, you can, like, withdrawal of access to the infirmary is like a serious threat, and not just for your obviously the people who have joined most recently probably feel it more because they're used to being independent, but also you can kind of maybe see some doubt in the face of your truly devoted.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say to Scrape, I did not start it. It was January who I mean, I sort of started, but not this recent escalation. I say it was January who who drew the first blood. I'm only going to
I don't
retort.
give a flying fuck. You patch this up. You can threaten them, fine, but don't go out there on a full crusade. That's what I'm saying. Talk to people. You can do that. You're a charismatic guy. It'll be the first time that you did talk to someone and they didn't listen.
I think Blizzard says they started it. I'm going to do the same.
Yeah, fuck you then.
So I think before we take a break, before Blizzard storms off, Ruth comes up behind Scrape, and she has a little flashlight that she points at Blizzard's eyes, and she has that very doctory expression on her face where oh dear is what she is obviously thinking. Maybe Scrape recognizes the look. So let's take our break. Great. So here we go. So we're back and going up train again. So Lemma and Dusk, you are marched is probably the right word, up train. I think if you thought the baffles or the kingdom or the height of luxury, alien or familiar, hospitality is another level above. This is kind of pristine, plush, and I guess the other thing is like this unimaginable space. There is not a sign of there being a crowd or of there being any kind of resources that you could not get while you're up.
There are all these places to sit and no one's in them.
Yeah.
They're empty chairs.
Could use some of this
but
room.
just around a table. Look, there's a table with chairs around it, and no one's there. They're not using it for anything.
Yeah, yeah. I
What's
don't know
going
what they're
on?
doing with all this space. I mean, where are the bunks?
And you get shown into an office. If like, I guess it looks like maybe like an operating room or something like that. Everything's clean. There's nothing here. There's like a desk and a couple of chairs. And there's like a copy machine gurgling in the background. And Mr. Burroughs is sitting behind the desk. He's an older man, slicked hair, these kind of round sunglasses. I mean, I think the shorthand has taken fashion advice from Nazis, right?
So he's wearing sunglasses?
Yeah. Almost in that kind of, they might be glasses with clip-ons or something like that, He doesn't offer you a seat. Well,
Just looking all around.
what do you have to say for yourself? What's your name? And he's kind of gesturing at Lemma.
So Lemma is looking around this room to see if he sees something that, I'm assuming it's not in this room, that Peregrine is being kept in. And he says, we need Peregrine.
You need Peregrine. Are you a friend of his?
Yeah.
Yeah. You should probably read this guy.
Yeah. Yes. Awesome. Read a situation?
Yeah. Read
Okay.
someone.
Read someone.
Yeah.
Thank you. Roll plus sharp. Okay. So yeah, before I reply with, yeah, I'm a friend of his, I'll read him. Oh,
look at that.
There you go. So that is 3 questions which you can spend anytime during the conversation.
So, how could I get him to give me Peregrine?
So you're gonna have to give someone up who he might feel is usurping his authority. You will need to make an example of someone.
Okay. Can I hold those other 2 for?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see what happens with our conversation here then. So, we're looking for Peregrine.
Do you know what's happened to Fry?
Are you a friend of hers?
No.
Oh.
I just wanted to find out what happened to them.
And you, sir, are you a friend of Peregrine's? I'd just like to know where we stand before I make any decisions.
You're sitting down. We're the ones who are standing.
I kind of put my hand in front of Dusk as if to protect her from whatever he might do after Dusk says that. Although I know obviously Dusk doesn't need my help, but
Are you sure about that?
and says, I'm an acquaintance of Peregrine.
Oh, okay. Both of those people are troublemakers, and they have been disciplined.
That mean that
Oh no, they're still alive.
whispered to Semper but loud enough to be heard.
Yeah. Oh no, they're still alive. We don't discard much on Snowpiercer.
Locked up.
Dusk asks.
So locked up?
I mean, yes.
Can we see them?
No.
Please?
No. Not even for a pretty please with a cherry on top. And he's very pleased with himself for knowing what all those things are.
Yeah, that's just like
Yeah.
no idea.
And now I'm going to read him.
In your
oh yeah,
deep brain scan way.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I don't seem to do it any other way.
Why would you? You know.
Well, there are reasons. If you just read somebody normally, you can't hurt them.
Yeah.
Pretty much to burrows would probably be a really, really, really terrible idea. But I didn't roll badly enough to damage him. So I got what? I have 2.
So
no, I just have 1.
it's you get 2. To yeah, you can ask from the normal list or your own.
Yes, I was just looking up how many questions. So there's 2. Okay. What is his deepest secret fear?
That this train will stop running, and that humanity will be no more. That he won't be able to ensure that never happens.
You know that poison's getting in the train, right? That might make the train stop.
Well, Dr. Ruth is dealing with that right now, I believe.
Dr. Ruth might be able to help people not get sick, but it won't make the brain stop.
Well, when we found the source of the the leak, we will deal with whoever is responsible.
You'll be the one responsible.
Well,
won't you?
We'll deal with whoever is to blame.
Who's trying to find the source of the leak? Do you have a crew working on that right now?
Well, I've given one of my security consultants a device that will help track down the leak.
Where are they?
Down train. Do you know who might be bringing radioactive objects, substances into the train?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, I think if you want to continue existing in any real sense, you might want to identify exactly who is responsible, who is to blame, and
just hold on, okay? You don't need to threaten Dusk. You don't need to threaten her.
That's not a threat. That's, if we do not contain the source of the radiation, we're all going to die.
Well, it's not her fault.
Overprotective father, is it?
Can I spend a hold to ask if he was telling the truth about sending somebody back to look for, with the device, to look for the source?
Yes. I think maybe he sees the kind of doubt and he adds a name. It's Kite. He sent Kite back to with the Geiger counter to the Geiger counter he took from Peregrine. But the guy sent Kite back with the Geiger counter to.
So he's telling the truth. This has happened.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, Brandon. Go ahead, please.
No, you didn't. It's fine. What's the most interesting question here? I'm curious about his lowest moment, but I'm actually going to ask how I could really get my hooks into him. But feel free to answer another question if you have a really cool answer. Dusk is trying to get leverage on him.
Yeah.
And so if that's something about him that he doesn't want people to know, that would be fine.
I think so. Your leverage is that you realize the way he's talking. He's talking on behalf of someone else. He is not, as much as you've heard how in control or how in charge and how responsible he is not where the buck stops.
And it's just us here in this room, right?
It's just
the heavies are outdoors.
They are kind of standing outside looking at you and writing.
Yeah, but they're not listening, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to climb up on his desk a little bit just to get a little closer to him, and also kind of weird aggressive move from such a small person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, you're not really in charge, are you? Oh.
But I am responsible.
You're worried about your boss.
And I guess this gives him pause, right? Let's go back down train. So we have Blizzard's Path of Vengeance and Scrape finding the source of this radiation and healing those who have been afflicted by it. Let's do Scrape first, I think.
Oops. Yeah, might actually be worth taking a look at this temple thing, because I'm pretty sure where I know radiation, it has to come in somewhere, right? It wouldn't come through the walls, because they're usually there. If it came to the walls, we would all be pretty much fucked. So, but at least, and also I think maybe Ruth has told me that she thinks that he might be afflicted by this.
Yeah, I think she gives you the look and says, well, he has definitely been in contact with the source of the radiation. So,
yeah, of course he has. But
we may need to sequester him at some later stage, but I think my priority right now is stopping the influx.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea where he's been spending time recently?
No, but I can ask around. People will tell me, I think, where he's been holed up. I think he said something about the Snow Temple. I think he's Office Rocker.
Yeah.
Seriously. But I would like to go and poke around there. I will take one of the iodine thingies and just, to help me give a little bit resistance against the whole stuff.
Yeah. and I think she takes one as well, and maybe hands one out to each of your assistants, just in
I think,
case.
yeah, but I think I will leave them here.
Okay.
Sven is far too sweethearted to be put into contact with the snow, and Silence has to sleep. And the last one, whose name I forgot, Chelsea, and Chelsea needs to stay here and make sure that nobody thinks they can plunder this thing.
And also, now that you have a lot of medicine,
yeah,
Sven is a danger that needs to be checked in on.
yeah, and then put up all the traps and stuff like we have. We don't want Blizzard to come back here.
Okay. So how do you want to deal with identifying the source? Do you think?
You know what? I will spend a hold.
Okay, a sixth sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I got it for.
Yeah.
I got a sixth sense about this place. I think what that looks like is that I mean, there are some people and NPCs who are hanging around here who haven't named, right? Because this train is pretty full.
Yeah.
And asking around where the snow temple, where he put up the snow temple thingy, probably won't take a lot of effort.
Yeah, I mean, I think even like Jackson or someone might is kind of an adherent of Blizzard's now, but you know him, and maybe he asks you, or he hears you asking around and just kind of tells you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're building they built the temple in the cloakroom, right?
Okay.
And they've cleared away so much of the junkyard for this snow temple. Maybe they've used some of the kind of existing junk to be like the superstructure. But other than that, it's a lot of snow and ice. And I mean, so, the cloakroom is usually like close to or sub-zero, but this is definitely more than would normally be here, even if you scraped it all up from the walls and the floor and all that kind of stuff. So,
sounds like he's been making closer acquaintance with his good friend Snow.
So I think maybe Jackson says, I wasn't here when it happened, but I think they opened the door to get the snow straight in.
Oh, fuck. There's poison in the snow, right? Well, if you don't know, now you know. There's poison in the snow.
That's where all our water comes from, right?
It gets filtrated. Most of it. I'm sure it gets filtrated somewhere because we don't take it directly from outside.
And I think, he's kind of standing there and he kind of slowly inches back to the cloakroom at the other end of the carriage. I mean, I didn't know.
Oh, no, I didn't think so. I think nobody knew. This is an ass, but I don't think he'd be willing to poison all of his. Well, maybe he would now. He's gone off the deep end, but I don't think he started out that way.
Yeah, but being in touch with the snow is the best thing.
Why?
Because it's the natural order of things. It's we are meant to be in the snow.
No, we're not. We're meant to be in a train. I mean, if we were meant to be out in the snow, we would be out there, and then what would happen? We would all freeze to death. That might be the natural order of things, but I personally don't agree with the natural order of things.
But when we're as ready as Blizzard in, we can go out in the snow and live and be free and be our best selves.
Jackson, that's not how it works. That's not how your body works.
But with the snow inside us, we're better.
Inside, you'll be dead. That's what you'll be.
But we'll be snow.
Yeah, you'll be dead. That's what I'm saying.
Um,
Come
gonna
on.
crush Jackson's newfound faith. Um, um,
That is why we are on this train, because we can live outside. We're not on this train because it's so much fun. Damn it. I'll go. Maybe can we take some samples? Yeah, we can take some samples. Go and check them, right?
yeah, I think. I mean, I think maybe Ruth has a field kit for testing it if she's brought the whole shebang, the radiation kit down here, and that litmus test goes the wrong color, right?
Oh, yeah, cool. Ruth, you got contacts up train, right? You know who to talk to about this, because this needs to be secured.
Okay, so we have to purge this carriage.
What does that mean? There are people living here who are not snow cult guys.
Sorry, I mean get rid of the snow. I don't mean get rid of the people. We can heal the people and get rid of the snow.
Yeah, that's not how Uptrain operates, though. You go Uptrain, get your purge thing started. Give me a chance to get people out of here. The people who will go and don't want to be one with the snow. Maybe I can get some of them out of here.
Okay. How much time will I give you?
This thing isn't super fast acting from what I've read, so day 2.
Okay, but I mean, like, you need to get rid of the people. If I go up train and tell them this carriage needs to be purged, it's going to happen pretty quickly. So I give you a day.
Yeah, give me a day.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be here when Blizzard comes back. I don't care about that. And yes, I'm being an asshole here. Script isn't saying that, but yeah.
Okay. Blizzard. Your path of vengeance.
Yes, I was actually going to find Kite, because she's the warlord from my perspective. Yeah, as we are going to meet her in the shutters, or maybe we'll have to find her somewhere else. I want to ask my people, what do they know actually about the kite, because I'm not sure I have much experience. So I would like to use my grape wine.
Okay, yeah. So why don't you roll that and we'll see what you see.
It's an 8.
Okay.
Yeah. How are they doing and what's up with them?
Well, so I guess you someone tells you that they've seen Kite like moving very carefully through carriages and like working this thing which is like ticking or bleeping or something, and taking some notes and then moving on and like just going through every square meter of the train, working her way down. And this is not like what she would usually be doing. Like usually she's just like taking names and kicking ass at the head of some of her toll gang, but not today. And I think the scuttlebutt is that this is coming from up train, like way up train.
That's strange. Do we know where she actually is? Is she here in the gardens? Or
Yeah, I think when you catch up with her, she's in the gardens.
Awesome. The other question, how could I get to them emotionally?
Whew. So I think you know that Lemma and her have a thing. Or at least that's what your person on the grapevine says. You know, they're always kind of talking, and it's a bit flirtatious, and it's like they're obviously doing it or something.
Sure. So yeah, let's go. Let's go meet Kite. It's probably a very strange procession going through the gardens, scanning snow justice, snow justice. Are we going to meet Kite? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the scuttlebutt is never 100% accurate, right? That's the thing with the grapevine. Okay. So yeah, you catch up with her. She like gives you a look that would make most people afraid or nervous, but not Blizzard, right?
I think we see he's like shaken a little bit. Things are not going good today. But yeah, he like tells the people to like stay there. Let me talk to her. And I approach Kite and say, Kite, what's up? The people are talking that you are doing a strange thing over here, and everyone is nervous.
Well, listen, when Uptrain gives you a job to do, you do the job.
Cool. I also happen to have an urgent job for you and your people.
What do you mean?
I would very much like if you could grab January from the dregs and bring her alive to Cloakroom, to the Snow Temple. I think it's simple enough.
Yeah, we don't look for tickets off people in the dregs and back. That's just we've had that war.
I would really be appreciative if you could, do this little exception. I'm not asking you to go and beat all the dregs about it. Just, go grab January and bring her to the cloakroom. And in exchange, I will make more time available with my priests for you and your people, so that everyone can benefit with the comfort we are offering.
Listen, I don't give a shit about your fucking snow. Okay? I know how things really operate on this train, and it's not your, I don't know what it is you do, but not interested, pal. Now, you can pay an actual jingle. I'll see about it, but
How about once justice is delivered to January, I will say, and I might take Lemma under the protection that most people will be scared to touch us, and I can extend this protection to Lemma. People will be afraid of doing anything harmful to him while he's visiting this part of the train.
listen, everyone loves Lemma. He's like the sun shines out of his arse, according to most people down train. Who's going to want to hurt him? He doesn't even need my protection.
All right, I extended my options. Let's talk jingle.
Do you want to? Do you want to try charming or confronting to see if there's a different angle to get her on side? What do you think? Or just bribery?
I think it's charming. I'm not confronting her in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, let's see what comes up. Look, it's another snake eyes on my part.
Wow. So what do you say? That finally rubs her up the wrong way.
I wonder. I probably start spewing some bullshit about the snow, and maybe some of her people or someone close to her died in the most recent because I think we said that there was like a cave-in in the shutters, so probably her and her people might have died to the snow, and maybe me preaching snow to her pushes her off the limit or the edge.
Yeah. So yeah, she kind of puts her Geiger counter back around her lanyard, and like she looks at you, and the next thing you know, you're kind of doubled over, like she's just punched you in the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And she like grabs your face and puts it back to the wall and say, I tell you who I'm going to be looking into. It's how exactly the shatters shattered. And if I find out you had anything to do with it, you'll be in the fucking snow permanently. Does that sound okay?
I mean, sooner or later I will meet the snow. But
sooner, I'm betting. And she like lets go and keeps walking and keeps doing her scanny thing. And she kind of as she moves down this carriage, like every so often she like is turning back to you, maybe as you catch your breath with a filthy look, you know.
Perfect.
Okay. See that's why Llama loves Kite, right? So yeah, let's go back up train. Let's see what's going on in the office of Mr. Burroughs. We had left the office with Dusk kind of skittering, crawling onto his desk and pulling the lever that she knows he's not in charge, which is obviously something that nobody knows. Nobody else knows, at least. So, is there anything else I can do? I have a lot of things on my plate right now.
Peregrine. So I say to Lemma, is Peregrine somebody you need?
Not anymore.
Peregrine is a thief, and he is lucky, very lucky, that we have seemed to punish him in a temporary way, and not made him into roach food.
What about Frey?
Fry is a troublemaker of a different sort.
What sort?
Well, that, and you get the sense that he has never said this, but right now he feels like he can. Well, that is above my pay grade.
What would it
Lemma-
take to get Fry out?
I mean, that is maybe a question that Mark could ask.
Yeah,
with some mechanical
totally.
heft.
Yeah. So I think that when Dusk asks that, Lemma will say, yeah, what do we need to do to get Fry? And so I will spend my last hold on that.
So he doesn't know, but his boss made that call, and they are the only people who, they're the only person who would let Fry out.
That's too bad. I guess that means that you won't get the thing that you want really badly.
And what is that, Dusk?
Does he have like a drink
Dusk.
on his desk?
Yeah, maybe.
So
Yeah, I think
like a glass of water
like
or something.
half a cup of hot coffee.
Okay, I'm gonna dip a finger into his coffee and I'm gonna draw the outline of a flag on the desk.
And he stands up. And Lemmy, you see his eyes flicker past you to the guards outside.
I mean, if you don't want it,
Yeah.
if you're not interested in that, with the thing I found out, then you don't have to do anything. Because this is above your pay grade, right?
What do you do, Lemma?
So I see Burrow's eyes flicker to the gang outside, and the gang is are they kind of indicating that they're going to come in here?
Oh, they're about to come in here, and I mean, if you know how things go, it's probably kick your ass, right?
So there's this door between us, and I think that Lemma is going to move for the door and try to jam it shut and or lock it using his understanding of physics and engineering.
Okay. So let me
Acting
think.
under fire, right?
Act under fire. It seems like the best thing. Can you? I mean, there's probably something so mundane as like an actual lock, right? Although there's like a glass pane, obviously, if they're looking through it. But like getting there before they get there.
Yeah. All right. Here's my roll. Oh it's a miss.
Ouch. I think you're getting a rifle butt in the head.
As he's getting over to the door and he realizes he's not going to get it closed, he's like, whoa. We're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
and the door gets slammed open.
Yeah.
And one of them just grabs you, puts a knee through your nose, take a harm. And like like you blearily open your eyes at some point in time afterwards, and you like there's a gun in your face. Dusk, the second guy is coming for you.
I'm gonna whisper something to Mr. Burroughs.
Okay.
That if he tries to hurt us, I will fry his brain. This is
Okay.
this is an absolute lie. because I would not do that.
Okay.
But he doesn't know that. $11. So this is a deceive move,
yeah.
obviously. And he cannot call me out because it's mesmerizing whisper.
Yeah. Yeah, so he raises a hand, and the rifle butt stops like an inch from your skull.
I make no attempt to defend myself, because it wouldn't help, really.
Search her, find my pin, he says, and the guard, slings his rifle and starts searching you.
I don't have it.
Lemma still had it, right?
Lemma still has it.
Yeah.
I never got it back. But I look indignant anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I squirm and I complain. Non-verbally. Oh, you're hurting me. Maybe verbally.
We're not hurting you. Where is it? Tell me or I'll kill your friend.
Okay, go ahead. Then you won't get it. Ever.
Lemma?
Yeah, so is it two of these guys, two guards in here, basically?
Yeah.
Or two of these
two guys
gang,
in here, yeah.
And then Burroughs.
They're heavily armed and we're not.
I mean, you're on the ground. He has a rifle in your face. I mean, fictionally, so you're not in the best place. But
I'm putting it all on the bluff here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead along with Dusk, and we don't want them to have it, and so Lemma says, "Don't kill me. It's down train."
Do you think you should act under fire, under threat of death, to give up something that you have,
absolutely.
I'm going to.
Yes.
No attachment to.
Let me roll the help.
9.
Okay, that's a 9. Sorry, Brian. Did you say you want to
flinch, hesitate,
help?
or stall?
Hang on. That's my help.
So the question is,
I said I wanted to roll help.
Yeah. So the question is to Lemma. You ask their player what you can do to help.
Oh, what can I do to help?
If you do it, you roll.
Sorry.
So what can you do to help? Help me in convincing them that it's down train.
Yes, I will look petulant, like this information is being forced out of us.
Is that acceptable, Donna?
So, sorry, how are you helping to convince them it's down train?
You weren't supposed to tell them, I say when he says that.
Okay. Okay, so he doesn't shoot you in the face. Burroughs picks up a phone and relates to someone that they have found the people who know where the badge is, and they're going to acquire it now. And it's obviously kind of in a deferential tone. Okay, so we should take a break. Okay, so we are back. We're probably gonna. I mean, we don't need to hard frame too much. I think people are converging magnetically towards the cloakroom, the Snow Temple specifically. Maybe let's start with Scrape. So I know we had in the previous scene we'd said, "Oh, give us a day." Do you want to accelerate that timeline, or do you still? Yeah.
I mean, maybe Ruth is saying, "Oh, we need to." Oh, whoops. Or maybe she's just not giving me a day. Why would she? I mean, come on, just because she's a doctor doesn't mean you can get to trust her.
Or maybe she comes back 5 minutes later and says, "We don't have a day. Mr. Burroughs is coming here right now with every toll ganger that he can find."
Okay.
And yeah, I think
right.
Yeah, I think we got to get people out now.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do anyway, to get people out as quickly as possible. Let me check what's on either side of this. I mean, I know the garden is there, and then we could bring them to the well market or back to the garden. Right now, these people are coming from up train, so it seems like a better idea to get them to the well market.
Yeah. And I think generally speaking, the well market is probably more able or more willing to take an influx of people than the gardens.
Yeah. Also, I don't want all these people hanging out in my garden anyway, so that makes total sense.
I didn't realize Scrape was a NIMBY.
I mean, if there is an alternative to having them all sit around and be like, "Hey, can we have we are starving. You're a doctor. Help us."
Yeah. So
that's fine, and they can. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't want them all hanging around the garden. I'm a selfish ass.
So are you charming or deceiving them to get them to go along with you?
I'm just plain fucking telling them, "Scary people coming, get your asses out of here."
Confronting, intimidating, right?
I think that's my that's my bedside manner. Right here and there. Right here, there it is. Field medic doesn't help me. My sixth sense, probably not very helpful right now. Yeah, but I think the people, I mean, there aren't probably that many people in the wardrobe room, right? Because why would they be? It's pretty cold here.
Yeah, I think that there's still people kind of hanging around in the vicinity who call it home, but yeah,
I know. I'll try to get them. See how that goes. Oh wow, it goes swimmingly.
Okay. So yeah, I think maybe like obviously the lack of bedside manner is working for you, right? It's like, oh, I've never seen Scrape this annoyed. It must be serious,
Yeah, go out, get out of here. Bad people coming. Also, you're probably all gonna get poisoned in here. Move.
So yeah, they grab their cloaks and run.
Where did they get so many cloaks anyway?
You don't want to know. And I think where there's a bunch of the Toll Gang who arrive, and when you're coordinating this evacuation, like Ruth is giving them orders to like destroy the snow temple and then to like get rid of all the snow. So like maybe it's open the airlock and just shovel everything out, kind of thing. Rip off the band-aid. I think she is giving each one of those gangers an iodine tablet as they come in. Blizzard. You're coming back from your encounter with Kais, and you see this strange uptown doctor. I guess maybe you hear her order the gang to tear down the temple and get rid of us. How do you react?
Yeah. I think Blizzard demands answer, and he says, "Wait, everyone! What are you doing? This is the temple where we preach where we pray to the snow."
You did this? Ruth says to you.
Of course, this is the snow temple.
You took snow in from outside without bringing it through the filtration system. You're killing people. The snow is irradiated.
The snow may be demanding, some of us sooner, some of us later.
Well, it's taking you sooner because you've already taken a mouthful of it, haven't you?
I welcome it. I live for the snow. I'm a prophet.
So like she shakes her head and she like gives the go ahead gesture to the Toll Gang who are here to start taking these pickaxes and hammers and shovels to the snow temple.
Blizzard saying this devastation of the place, feeling powerless, but then he noticed the controls that open the airlock, and he makes a run for it to open both doors, disregarding the safety inside and outside.
I want to interfere.
There'll be a freeze temple over here.
I still want to interfere.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I want to interfere.
So, to interrupt someone, roll plus HX.
Yeah, I don't know how much HX I have with Blizzard. I don't think it's a lot. I've rolled too well anyway. Where are you, Blizzard? Where are my HXs?
Below
there. Yeah,
gear.
it's with -1.
-1. Okay. You just don't get along.
No, I didn't.
I guess it means that Scrape, like, you see this look in his eyes, and it's like he couldn't possibly be ready to do this thing, which is, straight out of the top shelf.
No, it's a failure anyway.
Okay.
So.
Let me check what that means. Okay. So yeah, Blizzard, you rush towards the door and you see Scrape like moving to stop you. But I guess you're going to get there first, or like you change course, or you can deal with him directly. What do you want to do?
I think Blizzard, because they have only a moment. I like shoulder bush, scrape out of the way.
Mhm.
Probably sending them just next to the door that might open
Oh,
very
Yes.
okay.
soon.
Nice. Yes. Yes.
So, do we say this is a battle at the opening door? Is that our kind of cinematic moment?
I'm not sure if there is a battle because there
So, I guess you like
friends.
you have like pressed that button to open the door, barge scrape to fall down near it, and now the door is opening right beside the two of you, and you're there, and the button is still there, so Scrape could attempt to close it again. So it's like
Yeah.
a battle over whether the door stays open, maybe is what I see.
Yes. Yes. Let's do it.
This sound okay, Sabine?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I love that.
So you're both gonna so technically what you do is you both roll simultaneously the do battle move,
Okay.
and then you both choose the options you're taking, without knowing what the other person is going to do.
Okay.
Do I
Where's
take
It's
a
a little
plus
bit
one?
It's a little bit cumbersome. Yeah, so with a +1 forward for the failed interruption. So this is a little bit unwieldy online, and I guess in person too. So I don't know whether we want to do it in the chat and kind of hit return simultaneously to reveal your options. Does that sound about right?
I was just reading my options and I missed what you said,
Mm.
but yeah, I think we roll and then we see what's going on. Or not?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, oh, I should figure out what my heart is actually. It's 0. Okay.
Nine is hold 3.
Oh wow. Okay, I rolled a 12, so
Oof.
I've got hold 4.
Boxcars. Okay.
Yep.
A fight for the ages. So
Uh-huh.
Scrape is holding 4, Blizzard is holding
Mhm.
3. The options, I'll read them out just so you're aware. There's fight for blood, spend 1 hold to inflict 1 harm. Fight defensively, spend 1 to suffer -1 harm. Fight opportunistically, spend 1 to inflict harm on an additional enemy. I'm not sure there's additional enemies to worry about really, unless it's the Toll Gang. Guard someone, spend 1 to protect an ally from harm. Seize the initiative, which kind of comes into the next round if there's a next round.
Okay, so do we put it in the chat? Do we say it out
Yep.
loud? I'm fine with.
You can put it in the chat.
Okay. And we can choose the same options more than once.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can choose. Yeah, I guess it could get bloody, but we'll see.
Okay.
And in
Berserk
terms of
attack.
in terms of weaponry and armor, I guess we can worry about that. Burn that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah. I think I have a padded vest, but also Blizzard has a winter coat. So
yeah, so you're both 1 armor, 2 harm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm using a knife at this stage against Scrape.
No, I'm
Probably
not using
not.
the baseball bat either. I don't even have it with me because this was not the plan.
Just fists then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I have an idea about what I want to do. See if I can.
Are you ready with your choices?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
So hit return now. Okay. seizing the initiative, huh?
Yeah, I think that's what we both want to
Yeah.
do. Right?
So the plus, so I guess what it seems like is, when you seize the initiative, it's really over closing the door, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's not
Um,
what I want to do.
oh, no, okay.
No, what I want to do here is end this once and for all.
Okay.
I want to grab Blizzard and get him out of the train. And if I have to go with him, I will.
Okay.
Because the door is open.
Yeah.
If that's okay with you, Pavel.
I mean, it's not on the list, but if that's what you want, like, yeah, let's do it.
I mean, that would be what, take a quick action of any kind, like door open, we're both struggling, and then pushing. Either pushing or pulling. Like, let's get off this train. Let's see what the snow does with us.
Yeah. So the rule for seize initiative is whoever spends more to seize the initiative does. So it's scrape.
Yeah.
And one of those options is like +1 hold in the next round, or read a sitch for free, or take a quick action of any kind for free while your enemy is off balance.
Yeah.
So, I guess what do you think, Pavel? Is that some kind of end that you are happy with, or do you want to?
I mean, I lost the seat for initiative, so it's up to Scrape to describe what happens.
Okay.
with us.
Yeah, sure, but I wanted to make sure that you as a player are okay with the whole.
I'm totally fine with everything.
Okay.
Cool.
So why don't you do like a quick back and forth about the fight, and then we'll, when it seems appropriate, the thing happens.
Yeah, so I think Blizzard rushes in, shoulder brushes Scrape out of the way, and then grabs this like both lever that open the door and just like moves them downwards, and we see like both the doors starting to open.
Yeah, and I think we see that Scrape is trying to pull Blizzard back until he understands that this won't help, right? And he maybe takes an elbow to the face again, because Blizzard is really invested in opening the door and yelling at the snow and something. And then Scrape is like, okay, looks around and says, oh, come on, fuck this. And kind of says, if you love the snow so much. And then he kind of pushes him. And I think in that struggle, he gets pulled with Blizzard out in the snow. Yep.
And you're out of sight. Like, this train is going at 100 miles an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're out of sight almost immediately, just ripped by the blizzard outside.
Yay.
We'll come back to this epilogue.
Yay.
Lemma and Dusk, you're marched in at the head of Kite and a handful of toll guards, and obviously Mr. Burrows, and it's like you see Scrape and Blizzard just disappear out the door,
which is wide open. Blizzard outside, right?
Yeah.
I think that Lemma had been counting on both of them to kind of help sort this out one way or another. So you see him kind of actively, his shoulders slump, and he's trying to recalculate what we might be able to do in this situation.
Dusk.
I have to do the most dramatic possible thing.
Yeah.
Right. Which is I lunge a hand into Lemma's pocket, come out with the badge, and I say, back off or it goes out the airlock, and you can find it there. And I'm just holding it ready just to flick it, right on my fingers. In a way that none of them could stop me from doing it, because who the heck expects, we got this howling storm going on here and poisonous snow, and so I say, is that what
Mr. Burrows like steps back and like puts a hand up. If that goes out, we're all dying.
Why?
Like everyone is frosting over, right? You're like the full force of outside
Yeah.
is filling the carriage, and Ruth is over there, and she's just shouting at the toll guards who are with her to like shovel as much of the snow out. Like they were prepared for the door to be open for them to shovel stuff out. So they're probably the best people to survive this, but everyone else was not expecting this. And they start shoveling.
Why is it so important?
That's a key for many of the essential systems on the train. We are going to roll to a halt within days if we do not have that key.
He looks at Dusk.
That sounds like it's worth Fry and Peregrine, doesn't it?
I don't even think you need to roll for that. That is
No.
an open goal, as
That's
we would say.
That's our trade. You let them go safe, unharmed, and you get this back. I promise.
Okay. And he is like, he's backing out of this carriage because.
And then Dusk is just standing there with like,
yeah.
Snow crystallizing on her face as she is saying this sort of thing as if she wasn't about,
Yeah.
to risk from dying here.
And this is helping your I'm crazy enough to throw this off the train just to get what I want mood that you've got going on. This is
she's absolutely
yeah.
crazy enough to throw this off the train. There's no bluff here.
So yeah, he backs away and like he says, okay.
You'll bring them down here.
I'll free them and bring them down here.
Okay. Actually, you leave Fry in the kingdom and you bring Peregrine down here. Okay.
Okay. Lemma, you I mean your old bones are feeling this more than Dusk.
Lemma, could you shut that door a little bit? I'm getting cold.
Lemma will run over to the door to see.
And Dusk is actively shivering. I mean, she's starting to physically shiver. It doesn't matter how cool she is; her body's reacting to this.
So yeah, I mean, the toll gang are shoveling snow out like there's no tomorrow.
Right.
So. And they'll probably kill you if you try to close the door before they're finished, right?
Right. So we'll just.
But you can look out.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I wonder, given that it's pertinent, does Blizzard, are you visible at all? Are you hanging on to a latch or something like that out here, or are you still rolling downhill from this track?
This moment I don't know, because we have clearly different visions of the cold. I had the vision from the series and basically me opening the door was like completely pointless. So but I think it's thematic that we are outside of the door, holding to something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the until now, the people closest to the door were the people who are like warm clothes and whatever. They were kind of prepared to open the door to get rid of the snow. Like anyone else with any sense is like getting out of here. So like, if you want, like, I think it's up to you whether you're still holding on, like maybe an icicle or virtually an icicle at this stage, Um, but yeah, you can't survive outside for very long at all. It's a matter of minutes maybe.
Mm, I think since Blizzard lost this part, we see probably Blizzard rolling in the snow somewhere down the hill, very much as the train is moving by.
Yeah. Okay. And how about Scrape? Is there any sign of him?
I think he might have tried to hold on to the train somehow, if he could. Definitely. I mean, he didn't want to die. This was just like, no, this can't. He just thought the train wouldn't survive the cult, ultimately. So, but if he can hold on to the train, he will. Hell yeah. He doesn't want to die in the snow.
Yeah. So do you think he is like an icicle or dying in front of Lemma's eyes, or
yeah, I like that. I think he just kind of I don't know, used some of his cloak or his coat to kind of attach himself to a door or something. So he's hanging on there and probably just freezing right now.
So I guess that's what you see, Lemma.
So there's no saving them. I can't close the door. So I think that Lemma crosses back over to where Dusk is and tries to hug Dusk to warm Dusk.
Scrape's still there. Scrape's still there.
Scrape's gone.
Dusk starts to cry.
So let's
little tears that roll down and kind of sort of have freeze on her face.
So let's do a hard cut there, and let's do an epilogue. This could be for your character, for your group, or what people say about you in the near future.
Oh yeah.
Does anyone want to go first? Mark, you're unmuted.
Yeah, I am. It's that dangerous position. I think that in the future we see that the snow cult and this is up to Pavel too. Is it okay that they still exist in some way, Pavel, without Blizzard?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out myself.
Oh, okay. I think that Lemma is, he understands that that having seen everything up train, that people are being kept down for the purposes of just making life easier for everyone up train. And he is making a deal with a group maybe that we haven't even seen yet, some kind of group, because he is trying to arrange for numbers of people to join and plan for a revolt. And what does that look like? It's just these shots of him talking to different people, making trades, and maybe we see them making some kind of secret hand sign back and forth to indicate that they're all part of the same revolutionary group.
Okay, great. Dusk, how about you? An epilogue.
Well, there's a little side scene where Flake and Fry have a reunion. You know, and I don't know what they talk about, but it's obviously it's a surprise. But then with For Dusk though, so Sabine, is it okay if Dusk tries to keep your clinic going?
Oh, didn't you see me? Sorry, I was agreeing. So yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know I didn't see it on. So Dusk is in Scrape's clinic in the gardens. I mean, she's slept there enough times. And she has between health from Ruth maybe and from Flake, she has gotten somebody who knows kind of what they're doing in terms of at least first aid or something like that to be there to help people. Nobody is knowledgeable as Scrape, of course, but there is a prominent, tacked up on the wall is a prominent drawing of Scrape that Dusk has made, with Scrape in Dusk's semi-literate scrawl underneath it, because this is still his clinic, and even though we're doing it, and Dusk does what she's done before, which is to help people who are overwhelmed, by looking at them and talking to them and kind of doing what she can to see that people with physical problems get some help. And she goes to sleep underneath Scrape's picture every night, and she looks up and touches it just before she turns in, and she says, "I'm sorry, you're dead."
Okay, great. Sabine, how about Scrape?
I don't know. Pavel, do you want to go? Do you have an idea?
Yes. So I think we see Tolgang handling of the snow cult. They are being thrown into the dregs, and they are being cast out from the well market. And without their prophets, there are different ways everyone starts to preach for the snow, but without them as a unified group, the comforting aspect of the snow cult is gone, and we see everyone's life being more and more miserable without having an opportunity to talk to someone about it. We see laborers being living semi-comfortable, but like under a watchful eye in the gardens, having to work there, and they are permanently staying there, so they are maybe even better than they were before. We also see that probably this part of the cloakroom is like permanently now open to the snow, and we see people like trying to like cut through the floors and like making a way under this carriage by digging some tunnels. So moving through the train becomes slightly more difficult for moving through the cloakroom, which separates Well Market and the gardens more. And finally, we see on the next turnaround, we see from the eyes of of a class, a teacher showing to the kids and asking them about the events of the last year, and the kids are saying about a madman who opened the door and then fall through them. And then as they're passing by the next year, they see a little snowman down the hill and they're all pointing to it.
I've got mine too. I think it's maybe in the day of the year, a year later, you can see silence. And she goes down into the belly of the train and she starts talking to the insects, maybe. And she says, one day we will stop the train and we'll stop it right here because that's where we need to stop. Everything needs to stop. We need to be in the snow. Blizzard was right. We need to be in the snow.
It's a a good place to stop, you know. The promise of some revolution or other. So yeah, I'll stop the recording and we'll do our debrief.